before we even start, I wanna let everyone know we're working on the audio. We are continually messing around with it. Um, yeah, I don't know. We're both not very well versed with the audio space, with like sound engineering, and you guys have given me a lot of good feedback on like inputs, outputs, decibels. I don't know what any of that means, but we're trying. Hopefully, we'll work on it. Apparently, I'm the problem. A lot of people say like my mic is the issue, or like not my mic, but like me, me.
I don't really know what it is either. I mean, I do have an idea because I mean I do like dabble in audio here and there because I like work with like video and stuff. But like
Mm-hmm.
I think our problem is just like maybe our proximity to the mic or
Yeah, the proximity to the mic,
yeah
like how
something
loud we
like that. I
speak,
don't know.
etc. I don't know. We're trying to work on it, guys. So we apologize if it's hard. If
Yes.
you guys have to continually raise the volume, lower the volume, and I have two cats, so there's that. There's a lot of traffic noise outside. But
So I will
anyways,
say I think our last episode will be a lot better. I did do a little bit more work on the audio part with that one, so. But yes, hang in there, guys. We're very sorry. But also thank you for listening through even with the shitty audio. So
thank you guys. Humble beginnings.
seriously, humble beginnings, man.
Humble beginnings. With that said, we have a very special announcement to make. This video is
Oh,
sponsored by. We have our first sponsor, our first wine sponsor. Shout out to my good and close friend Hyun. He listens to the podcast regularly. I'm not gonna give him the title of the number one fan because there's a lot of loyal fans out there. So I appreciate you guys. But he regularly listens to the episodes when they come out, and he overheard my conversation of every week we discuss what wine did we get, and I said I got the cheapest wine, and he was like, you can't be doing that, June. You know what I mean? Like you gotta you gotta be more professional. You need better wine. So he decided to buy us wine. Sorry, I just moved the table, but he decided to buy us wine, and again, 100%. Glenn has started drinking before
oh
me.
my god, dude.
100%
Holy
without
shit.
fail. And the thing is, he literally does this without meaning to, or he does. I don't know at this point. Is this like a sick joke?
I apologize, man. No, I
Anyways.
really like. I don't know if there's alcohol, I'm gonna drink it. You know what I mean? I can't wait.
It's all good, man. So Hyun shipped me wine. He Instacarted me wine. He hand delivered it to Glenn. Kiss the bottle. J Lore, JL, June Lee Lore.
Okay, sure.
It's called J Lore, J.Lore, Paso Robles, Robles. Cabernet Sauvignon, 2018, family owned since 1974. So you know that's the good. But
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna plaster a huge picture of Hyun in our video version during our music break. I would be like, "Hey, sponsored by this guy."
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh,
gonna put a
yes.
picture of Hyun.
Yes, actually yes. Wait, but yes, I've actually tried this wine. I went home to Georgia this past weekend, and I bought wine for like my parents, and I remember the name. I didn't get to try the wine yet, so I bought it, and then I tried it then. It was really good. It was like very affordable, like $20. But nonetheless, thank you so much, Hyun, for sponsoring today's wine. Hopefully, I can set up a PO box in the future, and if you guys want to send us wine or like whatever, that'd be sick. Or just like Venmo us for wine. But anyways,
Yes.
I poured us a glass. We'll set up like a separate account for wine fund, wine fund,
Fund.
and then
Yes.
that fund will go towards buying and trying different types of wines. But anyways, cheers. Well, you already started drinking, bitch. So
Cheers, my brother. I am so sorry. I apologize.
that was good.
What do you think, though?
You know, it has a hint of red.
Nice.
No, but in all honesty, what I like about this, it tastes good going in, and not going out, but like the aftertaste. Sometimes the aftertaste is like kind of bitter
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
But this is smooth all around. For someone, for all you very novice wine drinkers out there, this is pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know what the difference is, but I
Mhm.
will say it's better. Okay.
Yes.
It is better.
That's
than
actually
what I've been
worded
drinking
perfectly.
on the
I
show.
don't know what the difference is, but even to me, it tastes better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it that. But something about it.
Facts.
Anyways, today's topic is gonna be it's gonna be a good one. It's one that not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people are confused about this topic in terms of friendship. And so even with this topic, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not exactly sure how this, like, where we're gonna go. There's a lot of different routes we can take this. But the reason why we are doing this topic is inspired by one of my followers messaged me this, and it was the basic premise is growing out of friendship, right? Kind of like having a best friend, but kind of growing out of it, or feeling like you're being taken advantage of, or you feel that your friend is not being a good enough friend, etc. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna leave the name anonymous, but
Good
here
choice.
is the message. I'm gonna read it out to you guys. It says, "Hey, I've been listening to your podcast, and I have a topic that I'm curious to hear you and Glenn talk about. Could you guys talk about growing out of friendships? I have a friend who I've known for almost all my life, and I did consider her a best friend because of all that we've been through together. But lately, I have not enjoyed being around her at all." Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Sorry, I'm gonna.
Why?
I don't know. Like, it takes me back to, like, when I have to read out loud in class and you, like, start to stutter and get all nervous.
Yeah, notice like you added a couple words that weren't there.
I sometimes you don't have to tell people that.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna start over on the top of the paragraph. Could you talk about growing out of friendships? I have a friend who I've known for almost all my life, and I did consider her a best friend because of all we've been through together. But lately, I have not enjoyed being around her at all. I feel like I just woke up, or she just became more of who she already was. But it sucks because I feel very betrayed when thinking of situations that have happened between us in the past. I know I am partly at fault for letting her treat me certain ways, but that was, quote unquote, just how she is. I have opened up to her about things, and she never makes me feel better, or ends up making things about herself. I am torn, and it makes me depressed to think about, because she's not being my best friend at all, why I am there for her through everything. Sorry for the long read. If you don't do it, it's fine. I could use some outside perspective. All right. So, I don't know. Yeah, with that said, I mean, where do we begin? Where do we begin with that? I guess before we even begin, right? Like, let's define. I've always wanted to define friendship. And like define what a best friend is, because everyone has slightly different definitions, and like their friendship looks a little different than other people's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your best friendship look like? What does that relationship look like?
Dude, honest. So I was actually thinking about like this question, like what is a best friend, right?
Exactly.
And I don't have like a specific definition for it. I feel like I did have quote unquote best friends like when I was younger. But now like my friend group is just so large that I just feel like I have a lot of like close / like intimate friendships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I can't really say like, oh, I have like this one best friend, you know, because I have a lot of people that I could go to and we could chop it up, and you know I don't have to, you know, worry about being judged. Like I feel very vulnerable with them. Like I could talk about, you know, whatever with them. So I don't know what, like I don't know how to define best friend, you know what I mean?
Let's establish some parameters.
Okay, let's do it.
So I think some things that we can agree on is a best friend makes you feel comfortable.
Yes.
And a best friend is someone you can be yourself around, right?
Yes.
Like fully.
And comfortable enough to be like vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, tell them like some like dark ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're not gonna, you know, judge you or, you know, tell other people about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you can trust them to keep it within like that moment, you know?
Yeah. There's okay. Oh, I don't know if you said, did you say trust? But that's a good word. Trust is
Yes.
big for best friends. It's someone that you trust, right?
Yes.
And with trust, with any trust, that takes time. There's no like time frame, timeline of like
There
how
isn't.
long
There
there's how
isn't.
long you have to be friends with someone in order to become best friends.
Right.
Yeah, there's best friends you've had since childhood. There's best friends you've recently made in high school, college, or even as an adult, right? In your workplace, your coworkers. Yeah, and the thing is like, I think the trap is when you start to compare other best friends to your best friend, like your relationship. Wait, yeah, you take outside relationships like stuff you see either in person, people around you, or even on TV or on media, and then you start to project that onto how your relationship with your best friend should be, right? Because I know, like I have, and the thing is, I have like a few best friends. That's the thing. I don't necessarily have one,
Yeah.
right? People that I consider like the closest to me,
Yeah.
and my relationship with each of them are so different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we're all together,
That's the
there's
thing too. That's the thing too. Yeah.
right, and it's kind of like siblings, right? What's that phrase? My brother from another mother. Yes, brother
Yeah.
slash sister from another mother. But that's kind of true. That's the whole premise of it. Because, and even with siblings, people that have siblings, multiple siblings, know that your relationship with each sibling is it can be very different. Some people
Wildly different.
Yeah, and some people are closer to one sibling than the other. Yeah, I mean, my relationship with my best friends look very different, and I struggled with this actually. Like one of my best friend, it was really, I had this moment growing up where I was like, is he my best friend or not? And I've had moments where I wanted to no longer be best friends with him.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I
You're
felt
like,
like
fuck this shit.
I
I'm
felt
out.
like I felt like he just wasn't a very good friend, and I like built up some grudges from that. And like he was never really good at like texting or communicating. I kind of like doing that more so. He's a little more closed off, but he has his own reasons. He has his own history. So like by being more sympathetic on my end, I was able to kind of understand him more and kind of like meet him in the middle, right? I think I set up expectations, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
you can't really do that, right? You can't set up expectations on someone, and my expectation of what a best friend should look like, I projected that onto him,
Yeah.
and so that was my bad, and I learned that growing up, and now fast forwarding to now, like we're best friends. I mean, we're still best friends. We don't talk all the time, but he's put in a lot more effort, and I've been putting in effort too, and it's been a lot better. And time has a way of healing things and working things out, especially as you become adults. I don't know about you, because like your friend group is very different too.
Mm-hmm.
The
It's very
dynamic
different.
is so different.
Yeah, I would like the way I would describe my friend group. It's just so big. Like we have a bunch of dudes
Mm-hmm.
in our group, and I would describe it as like a very 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 poor man's Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like no, seriously though, because it's like I feel like at like a certain hangout or like a group thing, like you could really like mix and match whoever, and it'll still be a really great time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it doesn't really matter who's there. Like I mean, obviously, like you like miss, someone's presence when they're not there, but like we will always have a great time no matter how big or how small the group is.
I see.
And so yeah, I feel like I'm very lucky in that way, and I feel like I haven't had to really, worry about whether this guy thinks of me the same way I do him or vice versa,
Yeah.
because our friend group is so large. And
Yeah.
I definitely hear what you're saying when you say like, some people kind of like project, like their expectations on somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they don't meet that expectation, because like everyone's definition of best friend or quote unquote close friends is going to be different,
Right.
So I don't know where I'm going with this, but um
You
but
sound
yeah.
like you're writing an essay, and you're trying to
Yeah,
meet
like
and you're
I'm
trying to meet the word
yep,
count,
yep.
and you're just adding a lot of fillers.
Some double spaces here and there.
Hence, furthermore,
Mm-hmm.
therefore.
Therefore, first off, Second
in
off,
in my humble
third
opinion.
off, in my humblest opinion.
Oh, but yeah, I have no idea where you're going with that, but
I don't know where I'm going with it.
I forgot
I
what
kind
top.
of lost myself in the middle of that. And I
Don't you?
was like, okay, I need to somehow hand this off to June somehow. And I don't know if I did a good job, but I
Dude.
tried to hand it off to you.
You know what
But I
that?
was like, this handoff, I think I'm gonna fumble this handoff. So I'm gonna just come clean. I don't know where I'm going with it.
You know when that happens when like either that happens in like either like a job interview or like a professional talk, a professional setting,
Oh
or
my God.
someone that you're not very close to or whatever, and you start talking, and you kind of lose yourself, and you're like, in your head, you're having this like this dual moment where you're speaking, you're still currently talking, words are coming out of your mouth, but in the back of your head, you're like, all right, let's regroup. You're having like a huddle moment, and you're like,
And it's gotta be
Alright.
fast. It's gotta be fast too.
all right,
Like
team,
you can't take too much
we
time.
gotta figure out how to bring this back. What's the end goal here? What is our mission? What is our goal?
Yeah.
And it's crazy
exactly.
how it's crazy how the mind does that in like just simultaneously. Well, I guess we can kind of like dissect what this message, right? So
Yeah.
growing out of friendship, right? If we're going to talk about growing out of friendships, can you share a moment, a person where like you grew out of friendships? Because that happens all the times, right? You make friends, you lose friends.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I will say, if she's listening, first thing I would say is like it happens, you know,
Yeah.
like people, people grow, people change, and sometimes like you might have a best friend that you've known all your life, and as they grow up, as they experience new things, like they might be headed in a different direction than you,
And
and so it happens, But I do have a personal anecdote, and it definitely is very mirror-like to this message. But so I basically had a friend in middle school, or starting from middle school. We first met when when I moved to Atlanta, and yeah, I mean, we were basically like very, very close, all throughout, high school, college. And then towards the end of our friendship, a situation came up that, involved a girl. And, yeah, I didn't agree with his actions. And I just think we saw that situation like
Very
totally
differently.
differently. Yeah, so I ended up just kind of telling him off, and I said some things that I can't take back or whatever. But that was kind of like our last conversation, and so it was like, wow, what is it, like 10 years of friendship, or maybe like 10 years, something like that, of friendship just kind of ended like that. I ended up moving to LA soon after, which really helped. I did a lot of the same things that kind of she did. It was like I try to look back at like moments, where, maybe I could have, avoided our downfall, thinking of ways, that that he had hurt me in the past, where I just kind of gave him a pass, things of that nature. But my problem was I never really opened up to him. Like I would mention it here and there, but I didn't like put my foot down, and that's honestly a problem that I have in general. When it comes to relationships, even like family, you know what I mean? Like I have a hard time voicing concerns and, how they make me feel and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I would say to this, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that just kind of happen, and it's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like friendship breakups are sometimes like harder than like relationship breakups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this again, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on this episode. this was
Cheers.
I was actually really pushing for this topic too during our brainstorming.
Glenn's the one that wanted to do this one too.
Yeah, I was like, yo, we got it, but it's kind of harder than
I told you, man.
I don't know.
Well,
Do you have like a anecdote or
okay, so
anything
that's the
like
thing though. I think I don't think we need to pressure ourselves that There's no like end all be all solution. That's the whole point.
There isn't.
This is just conversation. That's why sometimes it feels like I don't know where I'm going with this, because that's just the reality of it. It's tough. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no exact closure. There's no, textbook way to go about this, because everyone's different. Everyone goes about things a little bit differently. That's why it's so confusing. That's why you feel this way. Even like talking about it, you feel like, oh, now what? It's just like so many cliffhangers. You just feel like it's just dangling, right?
Yeah.
But that's part of it though, and so that I think hopefully that's kind of reassuring. But yes, I do have a personal anecdote as well. This is tough to talk about because, yeah, I mean, like, there are mutual friends involved and stuff like that, and there's really no hard feelings now. But yeah, I do have a friend that we started to become friends pretty early on, maybe early middle school, and then all throughout high school. And especially high school, we got really close. Yeah. And maybe the closeness, now that I look back, maybe the relationship was purely due to proximity. Maybe it's just because we lived so close together. We went to like the same school, right? And like we hung out all the time, and we saw each other all the time. Maybe it was because of that. But yeah, there were certain things where, like, I personally, I mean, I'm sure he has his own grievances. It didn't feel like best friend material. And of course I'm being biased, and of course that's my perspective, but that's my truth. So I mean, like, for instance, like, I don't want to like talk too bad, but just like it felt so transactional, and at that age it felt really weird. It just felt so meticulous. I was like, how can someone at that age be that meticulous? It sounds very confusing right now, but like, there was one time, like, we were playing basketball. We were playing like basketball on his driveway, and to this day I'll never forget this memory. We were playing basketball, and it was like Georgia summer is gross. It's super humid, super hot. It's one of those, you shower, you step outside, within 5 minutes you're sweating, right? Your hair gets poofy, you're drenched. Yeah, we're playing basketball, like, we have our shirts off, our shirts drenched. And then afterwards, I want to shower, like any normal human being. So I was like, all right, yo, I'm gonna take a shower, cause it was at his place. Like, I'm gonna wash up. He's like, no. I'm like, okay, LOL, JK, that's funny. All right, I'll see you inside. He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, it's okay. We didn't even sweat that much. It's fine. I'm like, dude, I'm like, my boxers are wet, right? And the thing is, like, the reasoning behind it was because, like, it was a waste of water, a utility. Like, it was that meticulous. Like, didn't want to use his, like, parents' electricity bill, like the water. Like, I was lose my shit. I couldn't fathom that. And like other little things like that, right? Just like, it just felt like so calculative. Yeah, I remember this, like, one time, like, going like from church, and we live like pretty close to each other, and I would be like, oh, can I get a ride home? He'd be like, yeah, or something like that, right? And the thing is, like, he's the middle point, but we live like with no traffic, arguably 2 minutes 30 seconds away from each other, like like arguably, right? So we live very close to each other, and so it's not even that big of a detour. He has to pass his house and then go back, right? 3-minute round trip. Anyways, like, there have been multiple times where my parents are either not available, or they're already home, they're out, whatever, and then his parents would pick him up, but he would leave discreetly without me knowing, so that he wouldn't have to give me a ride, because it's a waste of gas money. It's a waste of gas and a waste of time for his parents. Like, it was just like too much for me. And if by somehow this falls upon this person, I apologize. I've never had these talks with him actually either. And so this is not the way that I would want, this person to hear about this, unfortunately. But these are kind of my grievances as well. And I just couldn't see him as like a best friend. And we never really had like a falling out. We're still homies. We're still fine. We don't talk often at all. But we're still buddies, right? If we ever see each other, we can catch up. I would love to grab coffee with him anytime. Yeah, that's just life, and it happened. And I have nothing against him now. Right. I've moved on. He has his core group. I have my core friends, and that's fine. And it sucked at the time because like I personally do feel like I did fight for the relationship a lot. I mean, maybe he felt the same too. But yeah, like this person, I felt kind of similarly in a lot of ways, where I felt like I was doing a lot, putting in a lot, not receiving, etc. And just like you, I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's just like I felt the same. So I have an example. So to the person, I hope you're listening to this one, because this one kind of goes out to you. But I'm glad that she brought this up because I think a lot of people can resonate with this.
I feel like I did grow a lot from that falling out, though. I feel like mine was a little bit more abrupt than yours, maybe.
For sure.
Possibly. Yeah, I had to do a lot of like self-reflecting too. Obviously, even though hindsight is 2020, right? It's mostly going to be 2020 like swaying your way. You know what I'm saying? Like looking back on things like the way you saw it happen. And so yeah, like there was, I did a lot of self-reflecting and like, looking back on certain moments, and I'm like, oh, maybe during that time, like I was kind of a shitty friend, and maybe just like a relationship, I feel like with a friendship, it takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It takes two. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you do end up moving on from this friendship, I think there are a lot of learning points for yourself as well, just kind of like reflecting and being like, okay, like where did I fuck up to,
yes,
because
yes,
although like this message, like, is obviously very one-sided, like there are probably a lot of certain things where she did wrong as well, you know what I'm saying? So just be really honest about your role in this falling out of like with your friend as well.
I'm really glad you brought that up, and this goes without saying, this was assumed, but just to put it out there, yeah, like you, I did a lot of reflecting as well, and yeah, I realized there's a lot of things I could have done better, and I did mess up on, and where I fully understand that, like the example that I gave, he's like, he must have a laundry list of things where he's like, dude, June was a really crappy friend, and I fully will acknowledge that if that was presented to me. Oh man, I just had a brain fart. No, but I wanted to talk about something so bad. Oh yes. I saw, how like in this day and age of like self-love, it's like people love to talk about like can't like throw away people left and right. It's like the second someone's not good for you, it's like it's not adding positivity in your life. It's like throw this person away, throw that person away. I'm like, why is the narrative never about, hey, maybe check yourself, maybe
and so maybe like, it's you know what I'm saying?
No, exactly. And so like I made this tweet a long, like years back. I'm like, I forgot what I said, but I was like, yes, I'm all for getting rid of shitty people in your life, but has it ever considered to you that you're that shitty person to someone else? You know what I mean? Like I'm all for taking out people that are toxic for you, right? But just keep in mind, you are probably that person for like certain people.
Exactly.
And there just has to be a certain level of self-awareness, right? It's just like, yeah, I don't know. And that kind of like irked me whenever I see people like preaching about, oh, you deserve the best, you deserve this and that, and just like don't ever settle. Like people treat each other poorly all the time. It happens. That's part of being human. That's part of a relationship, and that's part of growth. Like how you can't be so butthurt that the second you get wrong, that you're like, oh, I deserve better than that, like as if you're some angel, right? Yeah. So there is that. Yeah. But that is definitely a good point. I mean, I think part of maturity, part of adulthood is a continuous growth in self-awareness.
Yeah. I think self-awareness is huge. I think like I feel like, I mean, this is something that you kind of just develop as you get older, but I think, as you get older, like you kind of develop this ability to like pick and choose your battles, you know what I mean? So like in this case, like with friendships, like I mean, whoever's having friendship problems, like I would say, like, I think if you feel like you have a good eye for picking and choosing your battles, like if you think it's worth fighting for, then fight for it. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, just because she's like they're doing a certain, or like they're like acting bad towards you, that you need to cut it off. It's like the way I see friendship is like honestly right up there with like relationships and family. Like that, like they're obviously different categories, but I think they're in the same tier. You know, and I think a lot of people are so quick to, you know, put friendships, you know, below those two categories. But I don't know. I feel like, man, friends really keep you sane. You know, like when you're going through some shit, like with your family and your girlfriend or boyfriend, like, you know, friends are the the first people you jump to. You know, so I think, um, and obviously you don't nurture friendships the way you do relationships or family, but I think there does need to be what is it, like a sense of you know, staying committed to it, you know, and doing what you can on your end to, you know, make it as healthy of a friendship as you can, you know. And that also, you know, ties back into just being real with yourself, you know, like if you're mad at a certain situation, like really reflect before, you know, either projecting your own insecurities onto that person or what you feel like a friend should be onto that person. You know, like really sit down and be like, yo, okay, is it me? Am I tripping right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I just going off the rails? Like, do I have any right to be this angry about it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously in this case with your follower, I think it's very apparent that she has a lot of rights to be angry, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, man. I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be the running joke this episode. I don't know where I'm going with this, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? You know what I'm saying though?
No, that's so true. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the one thing I will say about this person, like without really like giving hard advices, one practice that I do suggest is if it ends up you guys just fall out. I mean, I don't want to say like I hope it doesn't or I hope it happens or it doesn't, because if it's better for the both of y'all to like no longer be best friends, then that's what I hope for, right? Whatever happens, if it ends up you guys not being friends anymore, you can eventually forgive that person, because at the
Yes.
end of the day, it'll chew you up and it'll corrupt you. And if that person's out of your life now and you're still harboring resentment and you can't find it in you to forgive that person, then it's only a detriment to yourself in the long run. Let bygones be bygones
Yeah.
is something that's kind of hard to practice. But yeah, I think if it ends up going down that route, then like hopefully you can send her off and just like be like, it is what it is. It was a good run and I wish you the best, and like try not to like feed off that resentment and bitterness, right? And like hopefully look back on that and try to see that person in a positive light. It's like not for all the stuff that they hurt you for. And it's easy for me to say this because I don't know the story. She could have done you really wrong, like multiple times. I don't know that. But I'm trying to speak objectively. No matter how poorly she treated you, no matter how extreme the situation was, hopefully somewhere down the line you can just look back and be like, it's cool. Like I've moved on and I wish her the best.
Yeah.
And that's growth. And like
Yeah.
I don't even care about the friend. I'm talking about this person in particular. It's like that's just your personal growth, and I think you'll come out of that much better.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking hit it right on the head. It's like, it's just life. You know what I'm saying? It's just life and growth. And you know, when I was about to send that text to you know, my friend, like there was a lot of hesitation, you know, because I felt like I was trying to, I don't know, like maybe justify, you know, the situation, and you know, maybe I'm overreacting.
Yeah.
But and I felt like, looking back, I think I was like kind of holding on to like the past and like what made our friendship so great. But I think when it comes to friendships, like the things that made the friendship so great are not always going to be the things that kind of hold it together in the end. If you don't want to give like a super hard cutoff send off, you don't need to. You know, you
Yeah.
can always, phase that person out of your life and just kind of do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Meet new people and yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Again, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with
I
it.
just keep picturing all your like whatever you're saying in this like this like wavelength. It's just like kind of
It's
like
it's
floating.
going up.
And just
She's going up, and then like I get to the top, and you're about to drop, and I'm like, oh fuck. But
It's like a cloud of smoke that starts off really strong
and then
it's
just dissipates.
Just
yeah.
kind of just dissipates.
Into thin air. Yeah, just like my jewel right now. Actually,
Oh my gosh. Listening to you talk this whole podcast, people are just like on a roller coaster ride about to drop. About to like go over that hunch. Like
Right.
and the machine just stops. Like
Yeah, but then it just breaks down right there.
just right there.
And then the workers have to come up and save you. Yeah, that's
Just
pretty much how this podcast is.
You have to like go back down.
You have to like walk down the railing, like it's very dangerous, like you don't know where you're going.
Imagine there's such a thing as a duo therapist. There's like we're our LLC is Glenn and June therapy. Like this girl came to
make
us.
zero money.
This girl came to us for
Zero
problems,
money.
and we just start rambling, and you're like, right, and just yeah. I mean, that's life, man.
That's life. That's like, hey, growth. You move on and you find another best friend.
And we're
it's all
drinking
good.
on the job. We're drinking wine on the
It's all
job.
good. We're
And we just
constantly saying, we don't know where we're going with this, but thank you for your money. Thank you for your money. We'll see you next time.
we constantly popcorn to each other.
All right, June, help me out. June, come on.
We're texting each other on the side. It's like, yo, what do I say? Yeah, guys, that is okay. If you guys want some like inside scoop,
Fuck.
on Instagram / like Clubhouse when we were doing the Quarantine and Chill, my dating show. Every time we text each other, like while the show's happening, while we're talking, we text each other on the side, just like, yo, I have no idea what we're saying, or like, yo, help me out, come save me, like.
Yeah. You know what I fucking hate the most, dude? When you fucking leave me to go take a fucking piss break. Like, I hate that. That's like the worst. It's the worst because I'm not a host, dude. That's not what I do. That's not my job. My job is to just sit there, listen, come in from time to time, make a really bad joke, and then leave. Okay, that's my job. But you text me, yo, I gotta take a piss, take over. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally sweating balls. And you should listen to the conversations that ensue. It's like, oh, like what do you do for a living? Like oh, where did you go to school? Like what did you graduate with? Like
So like, yes, okay, so I have to go to the bathroom quite often, right?
You do. You have a really small bladder, dude.
I do. I hate it. It sucks, man. Trust me. It's very inconvenient for everyone, all around. For all
Very
parties
inconvenient.
involved in my life.
All parties involved.
Trust me.
All parties involved.
Trust me, I know this better than anyone. You know what I mean? You don't need to tell me. Like, every aspect of my life is an inconvenience. But anyways, during the show, so like I have my AirPods in, so I just mute myself and I go to the bathroom, so I hear everything. And so I'll be like, sorry guys. Either I'll be like, sorry, I need to go to the bathroom, or I'll just text Glenn and I'll just go on mute. And this man's like, yeah, so like what?
So,
what? What?
So like, what's your body count? I mean, I'm just kidding. No, hold up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know what though? I've
tough.
come to really respect your hosting skills.
Thank you.
Like I thought, cause like I kind of tuned in before I hopped on Quarantine and Chill. I was like, maybe I could do what he does. And then you fucking left me like that. I was like, nope, can't do it. This is not me. I can't host. I can't. And like it's also made me appreciate like on stage hosting, which like you do a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
dude, I would piss my pants. I'd be stuttering. Oh my god, I would literally just give them the money back on the spot. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna fly back on my own. Y'all, good luck with this event. I'm really sorry. But I gotta go. I can't be on this stage by myself. I can't Dougie on here, bro. My Dougie's trash. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Dude, it's nerve-wracking, man.
Dude, I can only imagine, dude. Holy
But
shit.
that definitely helped. Yeah, on stage, like real, like live emceeing, live performances, that definitely trained me a lot, and that's probably one of my greatest skill sets that I've built
that is a
over the
major
years
skill, dude.
that I can apply to. I can apply to so many things: acting,
Mm-hmm.
just normal encounters, just conversations. I mean, hosting on like the dating show, everything. It helped tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Wait, oh dude, I totally forgot to talk about. I hate that we are talking about this now, but right before we started, we were talking about like nasty farts, right?
Oh my god. Dude.
And so
Yes. You want to explain the person that we know that has
okay, so we both know someone. We both know someone,
Yes.
a friend of ours that just has arguably the nastiest fart we've both have ever encountered.
Yeah.
Like,
and trust me, like I'm like around a lot of guys, right?
mm-hmm,
And so like, you know, like farting is like pretty normal within like friend groups. And nothing ever really pisses me off. Like usually like it makes me laugh. It's like, oh nice. You know what I mean? But with this fart in particular, like, oh my god, like it actually puts me in a really bad mood. I'm like, yo, go do that somewhere else. Why are you doing that shit next to me, bro? Fucking go in the corner over there, dude. Come on. Stop doing that bullshit right here, bro.
And
like,
let me
seriously.
preface for me. I grew up in a household where the louder you fart, that correlates to how healthy you are. So whenever someone rips a
Yes.
fart in my family, my dad's like, "Ooh, that was a healthy fart. You're very healthy."
Mm-hmm.
So we're all about the farts. I love it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
And then I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I think it's like one of the best icebreakers.
I think it's fun.
No, I think farts are, man. I could do a whole research like paper on this. I think farts are so necessary. I think farts are underrated. I'll say it. I don't care. I think farts are underrated.
Okay.
I think more people
You
need
know
a
what?
fart.
I actually respect that. I don't think it's underrated. I think it's rated just at the point that it is. I think it's perfectly fine where it is. I don't think it's underrated.
I think more
But
people
I hear
need a
you
fart.
though. I hear you though.
Okay,
I hear you,
I
though.
respect that. Thank you.
I definitely understand like your mindset when it comes to like what a fart can do to the room.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But a huge comma.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this friend's fart, it's like it actually makes you question, did you just poop yourself? Like
Yeah.
it sounds wet. Like
It's like go wipe your ass, dude.
like
What
Glenn says the
fuck? What are you
funniest thing.
doing?
I get so self-conscious whenever I fart around him. If I rip one, he says the funniest line. He's like, "Dude, go wipe your ass right now." Like, he's like, "You just shit yourself."
No, but that one particular one that you did, where I spit out that line, I was like, yo, come on, because I was sitting at my desk. I remember, I was sitting at my desk, and you were next to me, and we were just nonchalantly looking at some kind of website or YouTube video, and you just rip one, like so nonchalantly, like you didn't even let me know, like it just came out. And it was honestly kind of watery. It was a little watery.
Dude, don't do me like that.
It was a little watery, and I was like, yo.
Yo, disclaimer:
You
my
might wanna
farts
go check on
aren't
yourself.
always. My farts aren't like watery. Okay, that was that one time.
They're not. Yeah.
No, but Glenn actually like maybe like 7% got a little angry. He was like, "Yo, go
was
go
like,
wipe your ass right now."
I was like, listen, I can do a little toot, you know, just like a regular fart. But like, bro, like you doing that shit right next to my face, dog. Like I'm sitting down. Your ass is right here.
No, it wasn't. You act like I gave you pink eye. Oh, how did we get here?
Oh god.
This is where we were going. Oh, when we said I don't know where I'm going with this, this is where we were coming to.
This
was
is
our
where we were
destination.
going. We just didn't know it yet.
This was our end goal.
You know what fucking happened to me today, bro? So I was walking my fucking dog, right? And I was like walking by a couple houses. It was cool. And then I walked past this one house, and there's like a big sign in front. Okay, it says Peachtree Ridge High School, congratulations, yada yada, class of 2021. It's been fucking a decade since I graduated high school, bro.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Now we
Isn't
know
that
how
insane?
it feels. Now we know how like adults like that have graduated. Wait, high school? Yeah.
I graduated high school in 2011.
You're about to hit your 10-year anniversary. Like, would you?
Mhm.
Would you go to your 10-year reunion, high school reunion?
Dude, I haven't even thought about that. You know, I would go if a couple of people went with me. I couldn't walk.
You wouldn't
in by
go
myself.
alone.
No. I can't do that. No. I can barely like go into class by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go into a high school reunion by myself, bro. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
I can't believe it's been.
Would you go? Would you go to your?
Would
high
I
school
go?
reunion?
I wouldn't like. I wouldn't like. Long for it or like look forward to it, but
Yeah,
if it
like,
happened, if it no, because I know people that like are so excited to go to their reunion, right? And that's fine, and yeah, I don't know. I'm like kind of curious to see like how people like where people are, how people are doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't care. At the same time, either.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm close to like maybe like 1, 2, 3 people in my entire high school career, like my high school years, like yeah, like maybe like less than 5, I think. For sure.
Okay.
My personal like because a lot of my close friends were not in my high
yeah,
school.
go ahead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
from usually from like church and stuff.
Right. I mean, but yeah, would I go to my 10-year reunion? I mean, maybe, like, sure, I guess, but not if it's in Georgia. Like being in LA, I wouldn't book a ticket for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, though, like I'm actually very curious where everyone ended up and what they're doing. You know.
You know, it's like as a hater, what's low key satisfying when you like stumble upon people on Facebook that were like their prime was high school, and like man, it's like
It's like, damn, you fell
that's
off.
sad. Like if your best years, if your prime was high school, and like the thing is like I've now realized like the people that like born and raised only live in their hometown and just like talk about like just like that's all they know. I mean, no hate to people that like never moved out, but it's more so like just the people that I don't know never grew out of that. I don't know, and just like still did the same things or just have a ton of like mommy daddy money, so that they never really had to grow up.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's why I want to like move out of Georgia so badly. Like I don't want to be. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be like. I don't want to be a Georgia boy the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so like I have an opinion.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep cutting off. I keep going. Go ahead.
No, there's there's like a lag, everybody. So like it's kind of sometimes it's hard to like gauge like when someone's done or something. So he's not actually cutting me off, and I'm not actually cutting him off. It's just like a lag thing. Actually, June's just a dick. He just.
I do have a problem.
Talking.
I do have a problem.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, do you actually have a problem with?
I know that about myself. I.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I'm a good listener, but one thing that I'm not good at is like, kind of like, interjecting or cutting people off. It's like sometimes I'm good about it. Sometimes I'm not. But I put in the effort. I really do put in the effort. So, I apologize. I'm working on it. That's why I keep that's why I keep catching myself and keep telling you to keep going, because I get excited.
It's like
yeah.
me.
Oh, by the way,
By the way.
You don't want to be so you don't want to be a Georgia boy. You don't want to be like someone that's only lived here, etc. You want to move out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at a really good age to like, you know, like live in another state. You know, like when am I gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, you know, like I just feel like Georgia, and I'm sure anybody that's grew up in whatever area, like there comes a point where you just kind of like outgrow it. You know, where like you know everybody, like there's no new people to meet. You know, it's just like you know everything about it. You know where to go. You hit up the same spots. You fucking, you know, eat the same shit, and it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
I just think I need like a new way of stimulation. You know, in my life.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm I'm all about like stepping out of your comfort zone time to time and challenging yourself. I really advocate that, and I push that amongst my friend group as well.
Yeah.
I try to like get them out of their comfort zone. I'm bad about that too. A lot of people like think that I'm really good about like going out of my comfort zone and stuff like that. I think that I'm not very good as well, but I try to. And even me moving to LA was huge.
Mm-hmm.
But look, to each his own. Some people really like the comfort of their hometown and like living there and being like born and raised and just kind of settling there, and that's fine. To each his own. But one advice that I want to give to any and everybody is, at least for 6 months to 1 year, move out.
Just go somewhere.
Even if you come back home, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Just experience
Yeah.
just life outside of home. I think traveling and experiencing new things, it helps you grow out of ignorance.
Yes.
I think
that's facts.
staying in the same place brews ignorance. And ignorance, the danger of ignorance, you don't know you're ignorant. That's the entirety of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know you're ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. And moving to LA, man, my viewpoints, not everything, so many things has like opened up. I still think I'm a little bit more conservative than like liberal in terms of just like my general morals, ethics, viewpoints, right? But just seeing so many different types of people, it's like, wow, like it just broadened my I don't know, horizon. Man, this wine is kicking. We literally have diverted completely.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is perfect.
So what are some things that broadened your horizons, you think? I mean, because LA and Georgia are very different, and like I've lived on the West Coast too, so like I kind of feel the difference too.
I've become more open-minded, and I used to hate that
Okay.
word because it's like I look, I don't want to get political here, but I don't necessarily agree that the more liberal you get is the more, objectively correct. I don't agree with that. Like,
Right.
see, like you have your viewpoints. Some people are more conservative, and that's fine, and that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've just become more open-minded in the sense of like just seeing how people think and work and view things, and just knowing that there are people that see things differently than me. That's the open-mindedness that I'm growing and noticing. And I'm like, oh, people don't think the same as me. People don't always view the same as me. And if you listen to this, you're like, well, duh. No, but if you actually live that out in like certain criterias and categories, you're like, oh wow, not everybody
It's like,
thinks.
oh shit, like people really do stuff like that, or like people really think like that.
Not everyone thinks and moves the same way I do, and that helps me not be so ignorant, and like not like that helps me just be like, oh, okay, like maybe like just to like everyone's different. There's not it's like it becomes less of like right and wrong. It's just it becomes more of like that's just like different personalities or just like different viewpoints or whatever, right? And it allows more room for sympathy and understanding, which is like one of my big mottos in life, trying to practice like sympathy.
No, I still remember when you were telling me you're gonna move. I feel like that shit all happened really fast for you.
It happened in less than a month when I
I was like, what?
when I had the we can talk about this some other time, but like the conversation of like me even deciding to move, I've thought about it for 2 years prior, but the conversation, I had a phone call. After that phone call with a friend, 4 days later I told my parents I'm moving to LA, and then in less than a month I packed my car, I drove by myself from Georgia to LA in 3 days, which is like kind of nuts if you think about it. Nuts. But the beauty, like I think
that is very nuts.
The best strategy is don't think about it. The best strategy is like be a little stupid and naive and a little ignorant and just do it. If you think too much, if you plan too much, you'll never do it. If you have a checklist that you're waiting to check off every little thing, you'll never, I mean, not never, but it'll take way longer. If you just be like, I took the kind of more rash, like I'll figure it out as I go. Luckily, I had some saving, so I had the luxury to just do it and then like find a job. But I did it, and I never had to You know, I never had to pick up a part-time job in LA.
That's crazy.
Isn't
See,
that
like
crazy?
that's actually my fear, cause I mean I'm a freelancer, right? And I feel like I've just gotten to a point in Atlanta where I'm like well connected, and I'm like kind of like picking up jobs pretty often these days.
Yeah.
But just like that fear of like going broke, you know what I'm saying? And
Dude, that
this might sound very selfish for me, but it's like I don't want to give up freelancing. I don't think I could do a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
I have this conversation with my brother all the time. It's like, and I had a hard time coming to terms with it. I still do, because I compare myself to my 9 to 5 friends, making salary,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah, same. A
But
lot.
I
actually,
really
so
don't
bad.
think I don't think I'm built like that, because I've worked 9 to 5. I worked at a startup, and I did a kind of crappy job. I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't work that hard, and I got very self-conscious and insecure. I'm like, maybe I'm just like not a hard worker. I still think that.
Yeah.
I think like objectively I'm like not the hardest worker, but then again, people like you and other people like, no dude, you work hard, whatever, right? Anyways, in a corporate setting, like I don't think that's for me, and that's like a societal thing. Like, how is everyone meant to be working a 9 to 5 in a corporate setting,
Yeah.
being told what to do, etc.? Like
Yeah.
there is no way.
Yeah, I can't stand the thought of someone telling me what to do every day.
You hate that. No, you hate that
I
as a person.
hate that so much, dude. I
Glenn
hate
literally
that.
Glenn's so extreme that if you have a suggestion like, oh, you see a great movie, a great snack, a great food, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, yo, you should try this, or you should go watch this. He gets like, what is it, stubbornness or pride? It's like, if you really if you emphasize too strongly or get too excited about something, he's like, no, I don't want to. Like, he won't say that to you up front, but in his head, if you get too excited about something, hey, no, you should really watch this show. Guys, if you want Glenn to watch something, just very passively be like, oh yeah, there's a show. But if you press it on him, I don't know what it is. You hate it.
So there's actually a movie that June wants me to watch. It's called Lost in Translation.
Oh my god,
And
please. Please.
He's told me about it so many times, and I actually really like the director's movies, Sofia Coppola or something like that.
I'm sorry, I think I missed
But for
it.
whatever reason, I haven't watched that one, and for whatever reason, I still haven't watched June's suggested movie. But I think it's more just because when people do that to me constantly, like it just feels so overhyped, and then
Okay.
I'll watch it, and then I'll be like, oh dude, like it wasn't as good as you were saying.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually more so telling you from like a filmmaker's point of view.
Yeah.
And I just think that
Yeah.
you'll
No, listen,
learn a lot.
I've-
Even if it's not for entertainment value, watch it for studying, like to study
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
learn. And
No,
well,
I've heard many great things about that movie. I have from like
Bill
multiple
Murray is
sources,
one of
so
my
it's not just
favorite
you.
comedic actors, right? I love Bill Murray.
I don't think I've watched a lot of Bill Murray films.
You
to
should.
be honest with you.
I see. I want to say you should. Like, damn it, dude. Like, I don't know how to talk to you. Because Groundhog Day is such a good movie. Have you seen Groundhog Day?
I haven't, no.
It's whatever, but you should watch it. It's whatever.
It's okay. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
It's whatever,
Amazing.
alright.
I'm just
I'll
kidding.
keep that in mind. Oh, that's funny though.
Okay,
You know what?
If you guys, okay,
This week I'll watch it. This week I'll watch Lost in Translation, and then we'll talk about it
Yes, promise.
in the next week's
Promise.
episode.
Promise.
I promise. I'll watch it.
if you don't, you have to buy.
I'll
You have
give it
to.
a
You have to ship me a bottle of wine. If you don't,
I got you. That's a bet. That's a bet.
there's a bet. Okay, you guys
There's a bet right
heard it
there.
here, folks. And to the loyal listeners that watch this, that listen to this, if you guys have seen Lost in Translation, please comment or message Glenn. Don't hype it up. Just be like, hey, I think you should watch it. Just that's it. Just like, hey, Glenn, I think you should watch it. Don't even say it's good. Just like, yeah, I think you should. But anyways, on that note, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
That's what friendship's all about, guys. Lost in Translation.
That's right there. Yeah. You don't know where you're going with it, but you end up somewhere together. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much of
Yeah.
the wine did you finish?
See, it all tied. Little less than half today, actually.
Me too.
So I'm on Accutane.
Oh yeah.
Right. and I'm not supposed to drink. But this past weekend, I got drunk as fuck 2 days in a row with you because you were in town.
Oh,
You were in
that's
town.
me. Oh shoot, I forgot. Yo,
Yeah.
your skin's looking better.
Yo, you know what? It's actually calmed down a lot. I think I'm on like my 11th or 12th day, but it feels a lot calmer, which is good. I think it's a good sign. My lips haven't dried out yet, but that's what I'm
I heard
forward to next.
because I heard. Well, so one thing about Accutane, I heard it can cause like low key depression. How have you been feeling?
You know what? I haven't really felt that. I think
Good,
just the depression that I have has been always there.
It's plenty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's plenty enough now.
Your current depression is plenty.
Yeah. yeah. We're good on that. We're good on that.
Okay, so like we'll wrap it up here. To the person that kind of sent this message, we appreciate you sending the message. You know, it can be vulnerable, sharing your stories. So, and I'm glad you did though. It's the power of like speaking up, the power of like sharing your stories is that you're not the only one. And in the topic of like depression or anything, the one reassuring factor is that you are never the only person going through that. Never. I don't think there's anything in this world that a human will go through or has gone through where they're the only person that has ever gone through said thing. And so I'm glad you brought that up because it's a tricky subject, and like it's hard to navigate, and there's no right or wrong answer, and every friendship looks different. Yeah, I mean, best of luck. I guess the one thing that I don't want to speak for Glenn, but like learn from us and talk to her, right? Would you recommend the same? I like try to at least have a heart to heart.
Yeah, I would say because it seemed like she kind of brought it up a couple times, but she kind of makes it like herself.
Oh,
but
that's
you know,
true.
just
That's
give it
true.
one last shot. Give it one last shot. If you feel like she's worth it, give it one last shot. You know, sit her down, talk to her about your feelings. But if it doesn't go, you know, the way that it's supposed to go, then you know, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Do what you got to do, but at the same time, like don't feel like this person has to be your like maid of honor or like bridesmaid. You know what I mean? Like don't feel pressure. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Give yourself the closure. And like Glenn said, if you don't need to have some hard cutoff. It can fizzle out, whatever. But at the end of the day, you do you, and like take care of yourself. Watch out for
you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You'll be good. You'll be good.
And yeah, I don't know how old you are. I don't know what life stage you're in, but like no matter what, like I think you'll be fine, and you'll find other people. It's not even about finding replacements. It's just that's not what that is. It's not.
It's just finding new experiences,
Yeah.
like new relationships.
Yeah. And shout out to Hyun again for this wine. I'm so touched.
Yes. Thank you, bro.
And the thing is, like, everyone needs a Hyun in their life. And Hyun is the type of guy, dude, like, ever since he started making money, I don't even think he makes, like, that much money, right? But ever since, like, he got a job, he's always been a stand-up guy. He's, like, the head of the household, like, the oldest. But, like, he takes care of his family. Like, he runs that household. Like, he has a younger sister. But, like, he spoils me, you know, like, little things here and there. And he's always, like, watching out for me. He knows that, like, I'm a starving artist, time to time, whatever. But I mean, he's a real one, man. And so, like, to the person that messaged this, like, find you a Hyun that'll ship you a bottle of wine with no expectations in return. But that's part of friendships, no expectations, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
I keep receipts, I keep tabs too, and I hate that about myself sometimes. It's like, you know what, dude, I did this for you that one time. I bought you lunch. Like, I'll remember that, but I'm trying to grow out of that as I get older. I'm trying not to be so petty, right? But yeah, shout out to Ian. Thank you for the wine, and hopefully we can get some wine sponsors. If anyone is connected in the wine community, wine companies, brands, hit us up, DM us. We would love to work with y'all. $1 wine to $100 wine, we will drink it.
Yes.
Any last words, Glenn?
Shit out your wine. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I'll just leave it at that.
Sounds great. I'll check in on you next week. I hope you watch Lost in Translation.
Yes, I will make sure to watch it. Yes.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, bro.
Alrighty, guys.
Alrighty.
Bye. Have a good week.